Your stories may come from you, but they are certainly never really about you. And before we go any further, if you haven't seen the end of Season 3 of Stranger Things, I recommend going to that little button over there and clicking share. Send this video to yourself for after you've seen the end, all right? Because big spoilers are coming. So, all throughout Season 3, they've been developing this arc between Hopper and Eleven, where he's really trying to connect with her, and he feels that she's, growing up, slipping away. And there's this kind of funny moment where he desperately wants Elle and Mike to keep the door open at least 3 inches. And, Hopper, he doesn't do well with emotions, and he just tries to yell at them, force them to keep the door open 3 inches, and it never works out. Joyce is trying to help him out by telling him to communicate his feelings, tell them how he feels, and he doesn't know how to do that, so he makes some notes. He starts writing down some ideas on paper, and we don't really see much of what he writes. And he tries to practice the speech, he rehearses it and everything, and when he goes to talk to the kids, obviously the speech goes out the window in the first 30 seconds, and it's pretty funny. But that was the most clever setup for the end, because at the end of the season, they're trying to get to the end of the Russian base, right? They're trying to get to the gate that they've opened, shut it down, and keep, the shadow monster out for good. But then something happens at the very end. Hopper dies, or we're made to believe that Hopper dies. By accident, Eleven finds what really turns into a letter, the speech that he was writing, as they're getting ready to move out because, the buyers are moving away. And as she reads the letter, or the speech that he was trying to make for them, we start to see images of the family packing things up in the box, hugging each other, looking around, and just seeing the house that they've been in for the last 3 seasons. And it's a little emotional for the audience too, because it was a big, important setting. And the speech that he gives goes along really well with that, because it's all about change and growth and the pain of leaving something behind that was once important to you. I wasn't expecting this, but the mix of the speech that he gives her, how he tells her that it's okay that she's growing and to keep growing and to be herself, and how much he loves her, combined with the images of the house that they're leaving behind, the life that they're leaving behind, really got to me. But I quickly realized it had nothing to do with how well the scene was made. I mean, it was made really well. It wasn't about the choice of takes, or the imagery, or the music even. It was about what it sparked inside me. The specific moment that it started to hit me was when I saw the bikes just sitting there in the driveway, not being ridden anymore. Pause for 1 second. So I was looking through the episode in question because I wanted to find the specific moment where the bikes are left in the driveway so I could get a screenshot for the thumbnail. Turns out that moment doesn't exist. What I was actually remembering is the moment where the kids who are staying back in Hawkins, riding their bikes out of the driveway, away from the buyer's house, and then Mike looking back. It's the same basic moment, and it's the same reaction that I had, but it's pretty wild how the mind remembers things and stores and sorts memories. Anyway, back to the video. When I was about 8 years old, till the time I was about 11, we lived in a neighborhood, but it was a type of street where there was very little traffic because it was a crescent. The street would come out of another street and would go back into it, so it was like a really long horseshoe, which meant that the only cars that went through there were the cars that were going to one of the houses on the street. So we got to play on that street, we got to play hockey, it was in Canada, we got to ride our bikes up and down the street all the time. My neighbor had a pool that we played in all the time. It was a really happy time, and for me, it was right in that sweet spot of childhood. And when I saw these images of them moving away from that house, and particularly when I saw the bikes, it reminded me of that era and moving away from there. And even though I kept in touch with my friend, it wasn't the same after that. And it hit me in a very special way. It made me very emotional. So the story that you tell, it may come from inside you, it may come from experiences that you have, things that you want to say, but the thing that really hits your audience isn't going to be something that you expect them to. It's not going to be something that you meant to have that effect. It's going to be something that maybe you won't be able to predict because it's related to something that your audience experienced. I mean, you're still going to write stories that are true to you. You're still going to write stories where you want to say something specific. It's just that the things that impact them the most, you may not even see coming. So keep writing. Keep doing the things that you're doing. Keep writing the way you do. Write as authentically as you can. Don't worry about the reaction you expect from your audience. Just do what you do. And for God's sakes, for your old man, keep the door open 3 inches.